Hey folks, this is Jake and Pat with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we are going to be doing the roast of the month, and it is Camber Coffee's Dialed In Espresso. This is an exclusive blend that they have made for us, and we're really excited to share it with you.
Yeah. We've collaborated with Brandywine Coffee Roasters in the past on exclusive roasts, and this is kind of this is our stab at an espresso blend that is sort of accessible and exemplifies the kind of stuff that we wanted to bring to a collaboration, and Camber was just a really good partner to do that with.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they went over quite a few iterations with us before we thought we really got it down. I remember the process. It took a little
hmm
bit, but
hmm
we finally did get it where it's super easy to dial in and it works great on a lot of different brewing methods, but we really think espresso is where it shines.
Yep.
The tasting notes on it are going to be baking spice, a plum, a cherry. So it's got those really dark, rich notes that people find really enticing in espresso specifically, and it definitely pulls those out strong in all the brewing methods I've tried it in.
Yeah. I'm drinking it as a pour over today. I don't have a semi-automatic machine at home right now, and since we're all working from home, it's hard to get access to those machines. But I do have a super auto at home. I have limited counter space, so I kind of have to pick and choose what I'm gonna use for content. And one of the things that I really like about this blend is that it's also really good in a super auto. I'm using a Miele CM6350 right now at home,
Mhm.
but it will work really great in any Philips machine, in a Carina or Latte Go. It's going to taste great out of a Jura, which is really cool because a lot of times enthusiast espresso blends can be less. It can be hard to tease out the kind of nuances in a super auto sometimes. But this one works really well in a super auto right off the bat. It was very easy to dial in for a Miele, which is exciting because it's a good entry point no matter what kind of machine you're using. And if you're just jumping into brewing espresso at home, whether it's from a super auto or from a semi-auto, you can try it as a pour over or as a drip coffee because it still tastes good in those methods, and kind of see the way the flavors are different between the different kinds of brewing, which is really fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've got Pico Barristo Carafe here at my house, and it tastes really good in that too.
hmm
There's not, it's one of those roasts that it's not on the darker side. It's not that traditional dark roast, but we definitely got it to be just dark enough to where it is a little easier to dial in. Darker roasts do tend to be
Yeah.
easier to dial in, but it's not. It's not. It's definitely not dark. I would almost classify it as just on the darker side of medium. How about you?
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we really worked with Camber on is a lot of times sort of enthusiast, I don't want to say hobbyist, but the kind of specialty roasts, single origins, and even certain blends in specialty espresso tend to be kind of light, which makes them more difficult to dial in and is definitely kind of a more acquired taste for a lot of palates. Um, so we started at a lighter roast with Camber and then kind of worked it a little bit darker. We wanted to be careful to not just recreate Italian espresso roasting, because the point here is kind of obviously there's nothing wrong with Lavazza or Bristow or Michel Adoro, like whoever you like. But if you're interested in trying a specialty roast in your super auto or semi auto and want a good place to transition from those darker Italian espressos, this one is kind of a great one to do it with, which is partly because it is a little bit lighter without going all the way to the like super lights that you get from some roasters.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like most of Camber's roast, this is a wash process coffee.
hmm
So you're getting that slightly cleaner in the cup notes, just a little lighter body than you would with the natural, but it also makes it way more accessible because you're still pulling out the flavor and tasting notes that you'd expect off of this coffee, like the baking spice, and you get a
Yeah.
lot of cherry up front,
Yep.
but you're not getting those super experimental, crazy flavors that you might on a natural coffee. And we actually find that makes it just really clean in the cup, no matter
Yeah.
what brand you're using.
And it's just more approachable that way. I know that I like it when I like coffees that taste like they have stuff added to them when they don't. But this one is good because it really gets to sort of the purity of an espresso, like the most pure flavors of an espresso, because it has that cherry note, which is really important to creating that kind of rich texture and flavor profile of espresso. The cherry and plum really do a lot of work there, and then it also has a little bit of balance, which is where those spiced notes, baking spice notes, kind of come in too. So yeah, it's very approachable. It's easy to drink. It's if you don't have an espresso machine and you're just curious and you like the sound of the notes, I would still say give it a try. Um, Obviously, the name is kind of a nod to dialing in espresso and signals that that's what it's for. But I recommend it if you drink pour over or press, or I think it would actually be a pretty good press brew. I haven't tried it in a press, but I think it would work great there too.
Yeah.
So definitely give it a shot if it sounds good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's great in drip. I've done it on the precision brewer here at my
Mm-hmm.
house, and it's really good for everything. You're not getting that thick body, of course, when you're doing drip, but you are getting some of those really good cherry notes, those classic, absolutely, just classic notes out of there. So
Yeah, and this time out. So if you're not familiar with the way that specialty roasting works with blends, they'll go to sometimes have to go to different producers to get different coffees, which obviously changes the flavor of the blend. So the notes might change a little bit in the future. For
mhm.
this first round, this sort of debut roasting, Camber went with a Guatemalan coffee, um, Compamento Alto,
Mhm.
uh, and that is from. I'm looking at my notes here. Um, it's from the La Esperanza farm from Aurelio Viatoro.
Yep.
So we have the Camber has a little bit more information on the story of this roast at their website, with some of their notes, and it goes into some of the specifics with the process, which is really interesting to read about if you want to learn more about how process affects taste and kind of compare this coffee to other blends too. So they have that information as well. It's not just like a mystery coffee that came from who knows where.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's going to be changing probably every 6 months as the seasons do. Coffee is an agricultural product after all. So, and we'll be updating any information that we have about the roast on our website, of course, when that happens. And then 6 months after that, we'll probably be back to this, a similar Guatemalan
Yep.
because of this season. And, you know, it's just one of those roasts that we're really proud to carry because we have put work into it. And Camber has done some excellent, fantastic work on
Mm-hmm.
getting this exactly where we'd like it. And I think you'll really enjoy it too, just like we all are in the office right now
Yeah.
or at home.
Yes. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. I had a big old bag that's just about out, and I'm gonna have to go get some more now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, all right. I think that just about does it. We hope you really enjoy this video. And of course, thank you for watching as always. This is Pat and Jake with Seattle Coffee Gear doing Roast of the Month. Camber Coffee's dialed in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to post those in the comments below. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and just as a final note, sometimes our roast of the month schedule gets a little bit weird around the holidays because we have so many holiday roasts coming in. So if you're missing us in the next couple of months, never fear, we will be back as soon as we have another roast of the month ready.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you.